Hello, we are the training team. In this session, we will provide education on the picosecond laser. Here is the table on laser tissue interaction based on pulse duration that we covered in the previous laser basics session. Short pulse lasers include nanosecond and picosecond lasers, and they operate through photomechanical effects, causing photo disruption and photoablation. In the case of picosecond lasers, plasma-induced ablation also occurs. Our picosecond laser products include Pico ND, Pico Majesty, and Pico Alex. As shown in the picture, picosecond lasers induced more photomechanical effects and fewer photothermal effects compared to nanosecond lasers, allowing for pigment treatment without damaging surrounding tissue. The shorter the pulse duration, the stronger the peak power becomes. Here is the comparison table between picosecond lasers and nanosecond lasers. Picosecond lasers, with their shorter duration, can fragment pigment more effectively with higher peak power, compared to nanosecond lasers, specifically Q-switched lasers. Additionally, by irradiating within the SRD, they cause less damage to surrounding tissue and can achieve results with fewer treatment sessions. Here is the content from a paper on picosecond lasers. In the areas irradiated by lasers, you can see that in the case of the nanosecond laser, the irradiated area is not clean, and there is significant damage to the surrounding tissue. However, the area irradiated by the picosecond laser shows no damage to the surrounding tissue and is cleanly treated. Thus, picosecond lasers enhance efficacy through strong photoacoustic effects and reduce side effects through minimal photothermal effects. The picosecond laser can achieve effective treatment using only 1/3 to 1/2 of the energy used by nanosecond lasers. Additionally, it can more finely target pigments and is particularly effective on green, yellow, and blue pigments. SRD refers to the time before laser energy, confined to the target, spreads as shockwaves or before photothermal effects are converted from photomechanical effects. With shorter pulse durations, peak power increases and approaches SRD, allowing treatment to be targeted without causing thermal damage to surrounding tissues. When examining nanosecond and picosecond lasers using wavelengths of 1064 nanometers and 532 nanometers as depicted in the figure, it is evident that the picosecond laser at 1064 nanometers achieves significantly better pigment treatment. This is due to the optimal combination of the 1064 nanometers wavelength, which has high absorption by black pigments, and the short pulse duration characteristic of picosecond lasers, resulting in the most effective outcome. Similarly, when examining red and yellow pigments using wavelengths that have high absorption for these colors, such as 532 nanometers, and combining them with the short pulse duration characteristic of picosecond lasers, it is evident that treatment is much more effective compared to other wavelengths or nanosecond lasers. It can also be noted that there is a significant effect on the removal of green and blue pigments as well. The indications for the picosecond laser include tattoo removal, pigmentation lesion treatment, skin rejuvenation, and scar treatment. Let's explore how skin rejuvenation and scar treatment can be achieved with a picosecond laser, even though it is not a fractional laser. Firstly, let's take a look at the MLA handpiece. The picosecond laser includes an MLA handpiece. The MLA, or micro lens array, uses multiple focusing lenses to concentrate energy into the center, irradiating the target area. Because the energy is concentrated and irradiated in one place, the beams divided by this method have a peak power intensity approximately 15 times stronger than those of the zoom handpiece. Additionally, this concentrated energy can penetrate the dermis, enhancing the treatment efficacy for dermal lesions. Our equipment's MLA handpiece can be used with both 1064 nanometers and 532 nanometers wavelengths in a single handpiece and allows for the adjustment of various spot sizes. Additionally, unlike other companies' HOE handpieces, it is effective for scar treatment. Here are the differences between the MLA and DOE handpieces. The DOE utilizes the diffraction property of light, spreading the light, and then refocusing it to fractionate it. The MLA, on the other hand, uses a micro lens array, concentrating the light through multiple micro lenses like a magnifying glass, to fractionate it. The DOE, which spreads and then refocuses the laser energy, achieves uniform energy distribution, but some energy loss occurs during the process. In contrast, the MLA concentrates the laser energy into a narrow area, resulting in minimal energy loss, but with a tendency for the energy to concentrate in the center. Our company's NDU Picosecond Laser can be used with both the previously mentioned DOE handpiece and the MLA handpiece. These are the MLA handpiece and DOE handpiece, which are fractional handpieces for the Pico Majesty. The Pico Alex, which uses alexandrite as its medium, only has the zoomed MLA handpiece available. Therefore, both the Pico Majesty and Pico Alex can use the fractional handpiece. Having explored the MLA handpiece, let's now understand what effects can occur with this MLA handpiece. When the laser is applied with the MLA handpiece, it induces LIOB phenomenon with extremely short pulse duration and higher energy density. LIOB stands for laser-induced optical breakdown, referring to laser-induced optical breakdown. This phenomenon creates micro-injuries in the target area, stimulating collagen regeneration and thus providing skin rejuvenation effects. If LIOB is achieved, significant scar removal and skin rejuvenation effects can be achieved in just one session with fewer side effects. When laser is applied to the skin with extremely short pulse duration and higher energy density, it protects the epidermis and targets intense energy only to the dermis. This results in a plasma phenomenon and creates micro-injuries in the dermal layer. These micro-injuries stimulate collagen and elastin regeneration as they heal. By delivering fractional effects without damaging the epidermis, this method minimizes side effects and achieves significant scar removal and skin rejuvenation effects in just one session. The difference between fractional lasers and picosecond lasers lie in their operation methods. As mentioned earlier, with picosecond lasers, such as the MLA handpiece or DOE handpiece, you can achieve effects similar to fractional lasers. Fractional lasers directly induce ablation of tissues from the epidermis through heat action, requiring at least 3 treatments. In contrast, cold rejuvenation through plasma phenomenon preserves the epidermis while creating micro-injuries in the dermal layer, resulting in scar removal and significant skin rejuvenation effects in just 1 to 2 sessions with fewer side effects. Our picosecond laser equipment includes the Pico ND and Pico Majesty, which use ND medium with wavelengths of 1064 nanometers and 532 nanometers respectively. Additionally, we have the Pico Alex, which uses alexandrite medium with a wavelength of 755 nanometers. According to the graph, melanin absorption is highest with the 532 nanometers wavelength, lowest with 1064 nanometers, and alexandrite shows intermediate absorption with notable specificity for melanin. Therefore, for individuals with light skin tones and epidermal pigment treatments, the 532 nanometers wavelength is suitable. For safe use on darker skin tones and dermal pigment treatments, the 1064 nanometers wavelength is often chosen. When treating lighter pigments or in cases where using the 532 nanometers wavelength is challenging, the 755 nanometers wavelength is selected for treatment. I will look into our picosecond laser. There are a total of 3 PIC laser options. The Pico Care using ND medium with a wavelength of 532 nanometers and 1064 nanometers, and the Pico ND and Pico Majesty. The Pico 1 and Pico Alex using alexandrite medium with a wavelength of 755 nanometers. Next time, we will have training on our Pico laser equipment using the ND medium. Thank you for staying with us until the end of the training.